Hello Hashima, this video is for Monday, April 27th, lesson 94, metric conversion with powers of 10. So I'm going to warn you that this lesson is kind of tricky because you're converting measurements, but there's a lot more units and we're not as familiar with them as we were for the units last week. So do your best, watch the video that Mr. Levine is posting, and then this hopefully will also help. Do your best, we'll go over it on Zoom, but just it'll get easier with practice. So anyways, just like we do with decimals and powers of 10, the metric system is a whole nother system of measurement that's used in different countries. So we don't typically use it that much in the United States, but it's important for us to understand because it has a lot of different prefixes that help us make units bigger or smaller so that we can work with all different types of objects. If we're measuring weight, height, capacity, whatever, the metric system just works with prefixes to sort of attach themselves to what I call home base units. So I'm going to show you how to convert different units using kind of a silly acronym, but it'll help you understand the relationship between these different units. So fact number one, in the metric system, each unit is 10 times the value of the unit to its right and 1/10 the value of the unit to its left. So the home base units are the ones right here in the middle, meter, gram, liter. Notice none of them have prefixes. That is the home base. But if you attach a prefix like deca or deci or centi, so you can say centimeter, centigram, centiliter, or something really big like a kilogram, kilometer, kiloliter. So the way it works is that these are the biggest ones. And then as you move this way, they're getting smaller. So if you notice on this chart, I put larger units on this side. To get to those larger units from the home base, you actually have to divide because you're going from small to big. And remember, that's division. On the other hand, if you want to get to a smaller unit, you would multiply, just like last week when we did big to small, multiply. So the smaller units are the prefixes deci, centa, and milli. If you notice, centa should be familiar to you. Centi is 100. Milli is 1,000. And then going this way, the biggest one is kilo, hecto, and then deca. So the most common ones you need to know are kilo, centi, and milli. Hecto, deca, and deci are not super common, so don't get super hung up on it. But let me show you how it works. So it's kind of silly, but I remember it by saying King Henry died unusually drinking chocolate milk. It's not a true story. There's no King Henry. But K stands for kilo, H stands for hecto, D stands for deca. You can see they match up. And the U stands for home base unit. So King Henry died unusually drinking chocolate milk. So whenever I solve problems involving metric conversions, I always write out those letters to help me decide whether or not I'm multiplying or dividing. So like I said, if you're going from the home base unit to a bigger unit, you're going to divide. 1 hop is going to be divide by 10. 2 hops is going to be divide by 100. 3 hops is going to be divide by 1,000. On the other hand, if you're going to small units, 1 hop is going to be times 10. 2 hops is going to be times 100, and 3 hops is going to be times 1,000. So I have a little chart filled out for you at the bottom. So 1 kilometer is 1,000 meters. I know that because I divide 1 divided by 1,000 is going to give me 1,000. 1 meter is 100 centimeters, and 1 meter is 1,000 milliliters. The same thing filled out for weight and capacity. So basically the idea is you're going back and forth between multiplying and dividing by 10, 100, and 1,000. Let's try some examples. And again, don't stress out if this is confusing to you today because we will keep practicing it. So example A, convert 1.37 meters to centimeters. So notice I wrote out KHDUDCM, King Henry died unusually drinking chocolate milk. Obviously don't write out the entire word, just write the first letter. So if we're starting at meters, I circled the unit that we're starting with. So that's the home base unit because there's no prefix. Meters is the home base. We are going to centimeters, so I put an X. X marks the spot. Then I'm going to count the hops. 1, 2 hops, which means I am going to multiply by 100 because 10 to the second power is 100, and there's 2 hops. It's kind of like moving the decimal, which we did all the way at the beginning of the year. So to get from 1 meter to 100 centimeters, we have to multiply by 100. So that's what we're going to do to this 1.37. So 1.37 times 100 is 137. So 1.37 meters is equal to 137 centimeters. Next one, let's try the other way. We did multiplication in the first one because we were going from a bigger unit to a smaller unit. This time we're going from a smaller unit to a bigger unit, which means we're going to have to divide. So we're starting at 6,700 grams, which is the weight of a cat in this problem. So we circled where we're starting, which is the home base unit, and we're going to kilograms, which is this way. 3 hops, 1, 2, 3. And since it's going to a bigger unit, that means we're going to have to divide by 1,000. I know it's 1,000 because it's 3 hops, 10, 100, 1,000, 10 to the third power. So 6,700 divided by 1,000 is 6.7 kilograms. So 6,700 grams is equal to 6.7 kilograms. All right. I know it's confusing. Try your best. Watch the video, like I said, that Mr. Levine posted from Khan Academy. That will be really helpful. And we'll just work on this all week long. So if it's not making sense today, just try your best, and we will get there by Friday. Have a good day.